Quiet Please won the Best Animated Short, 1945 Academy Awards. Do I think it should have done? Well, there were some strong contenders that year, but I will say that it's pretty good. And as far as Tom and Jerry cartoons go, it's quintessential. If you've never seen a Tom and Jerry cartoon and we're looking for a recommendation for one that's quite typical, this is it. We have Tom, we have Jerry, and we also have Spike. I never used to like Spike as a character when I was growing up, but for some reason, maybe just my appreciation of the character creation and the role he plays, over the last few years I've begun to really appreciate the character. So this was of course released in 1945 and was apparently the 22nd Tom and Jerry short, directed by Hanna and Barbera, with music by Scott Bradley. The premise for this is really simple. Spike is trying to sleep, and we know that Spike hates Tom. Tom and Jerry are doing their usual antics. Tom is chasing Jerry around the house. Spike keeps getting woken up by Tom. Tom decides to try and make Spike stay asleep. Jerry is going to make it his mission to try and make Spike wake up. If Spike wakes up, Tom gets off Jerry's case. If Spike stays asleep, Tom's got a better chance of catching Jerry. Who will be the winner at the end of this? I won't say anything about that, but I will say it's pretty stereotypical. The way that it develops is exactly what you can expect. The animation on screen unfolds really well. I think that the narrative carries itself from A to B really fluidly. Tom and Jerry, and of course Spike, all seem true to their characters and their personalities. Some of the approaches are expectedly violent. Tom and Jerry, not something I ever realised when I was a child, which probably says more about the way adults react to this kind of thing than children, but Tom and Jerry as a cartoon is very violent. They are whacking each other with frying pans, they are using dynamite and, giving each other medications to try and make them sleep or whatever. And it does kind of have that level of violence, which, I don't know, I don't think anybody's ever really complained about it in Tom and Jerry. People will complain about it in console games, which are actually aimed at older children, and yet in a children's cartoon, who cares? I like it a lot. As I said, I don't know if it would have been my winner. I think Donald's Crime would have been my winner, which I will of course talk about separately. But regardless, the Tom and Jerry short cartoon, Quiet Please, quintessential Tom and Jerry. If you are an animation fan, definitely give it a watch. I think it's one you'll probably appreciate.